Imagine a city that never sleeps. A city of towering skyscrapers, Wall Street power, Broadway lights, and millions of dreams. But before the bright skyline, before Times Square, before America itself, New York was wilderness. Long before Europeans arrived, the Lenape Native Americans lived on this land. They called Manhattan Mannahatta, meaning hilly island. Forests covered the area. Rivers were rich with fish. Small villages stood where glass towers now rise. For generations, the Lenape traded with neighboring tribes and lived in balance with nature. Everything changed in the early 1600s. In 1624, Dutch settlers arrived and established a trading colony called New Amsterdam under the Dutch West India Company. Manhattan's deep harbor made it perfect for global trade. According to legend, the Dutch purchased the island for goods worth about $24, though historians believe the real value was far greater. New Amsterdam quickly became a busy port, welcoming people of different religions and backgrounds. It was unusually diverse for its time. But in 1664, British warships sailed into the harbor. The Dutch surrendered peacefully, and the colony was renamed New York after the Duke of York. Under British rule, the city grew into one of the most important ports in the American colonies. When tensions exploded between Britain and the colonies, New York became a major battleground during the American Revolution. For much of the war, British forces occupied the city. After independence, history was made here. In 1789, George Washington took the oath of office in New York, becoming the first president of the United States. For a short time, New York served as America's first capital. Though the capital later moved, New York had already positioned itself at the center of the young nation. The 19th century transformed everything. In 1825, the Erie Canal opened, connecting New York City to the Great Lakes and the vast interior of America. This engineering marvel turned New York into the nation's most powerful trade hub. Goods moved faster and cheaper than ever before. Businesses flourished. The population exploded. Then came one of the largest waves of immigration in human history. Between 1892 and 1954, more than 12 million immigrants passed through Ellis Island. They arrived from Ireland, Italy, Germany, Russia, and many other regions, escaping poverty, war, and persecution. As their ships entered the harbor, they saw the towering figure of the Statue of Liberty, gifted by France in 1886. For millions, it symbolized hope and freedom. Immigrant neighborhoods formed across the city. Little Italy, Chinatown, the Lower East Side. Cultures blended, languages mixed, traditions merged. New York became a living mosaic of the world. At the same time, the skyline began to rise. Advances in steel construction and elevators allowed buildings to climb higher than ever before. By the early 20th century, New York was defined by its skyscrapers and unstoppable energy. Wall Street became the heart of global finance. The city controlled enormous wealth in international markets. But in 1929, disaster struck when the stock market crashed, triggering the Great Depression. Banks failed, jobs vanished. Yet even in hardship, New York endured. Culturally, the city thrived. Harlem became the center of the Harlem Renaissance, a powerful African-American cultural movement that reshaped music, literature, and art. Jazz filled the streets. Broadway became world-famous. Film, publishing, and fashion industries flourished. During World War II, New York served as a major industrial and military hub. After the war, its global influence expanded even further when the United Nations established its headquarters here in 1945. The city officially became a center of international diplomacy. But New York also faced serious challenges. In the 1970s, financial crisis and rising crime threatened the city's future. Many believed its golden age was over. Yet, through reform, investment, and resilience, New York rebounded in the 1980s and 1990s, regaining its status as a global powerhouse. Then came September 11, 2001. Terrorist attacks destroyed the World Trade Center towers, killing nearly 3,000 people. It was one of the darkest days in modern history. The skyline was forever changed. The world watched in shock. But New York rebuilt. One World Trade Center rose in place of the fallen towers, taller and stronger, a symbol of resilience and unity. Once again, the city proved that it could endure tragedy and rise even higher. Today, New York City is home to more than 8 million people, with nearly 20 million in the surrounding metropolitan area. More than 800 languages are spoken here, making it one of the most diverse cities on Earth. It influences global finance through Wall Street. It shapes entertainment through Broadway and media. It drives fashion, art, technology, and politics. From Central Park's green escape to Times Square's electric lights, from Brooklyn's creativity to Manhattan's corporate power, New York remains a city of ambition and reinvention. From Native American land to Dutch trading post to British colony to America's first capital to one of the most powerful cities in the world, New York's story is not just about buildings or money. It is about people, dreamers, workers, immigrants, artists, survivors who built a city that never stops moving forward. And the city that never sleeps, never stops rising. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories from around the world.